Namaskaram, everybody, and welcome to Sham Story Time. I'm very glad to meet all of you today. Today is the fourth episode of Lord Krishna Stories. We are going to listen to a story of friendship. It is the story of Krishna and Sudama. Let's begin with this song. श्याम सुंदर मदन मोहन वृंदावन विहारी श्याम सुंदर मदन मोहन वृंदावन विहारी वृंदावन विहारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी वृंदावन विहारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी गोकुल संचारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी गोकुल संचारी तुलसी मालधारी श्याम सुंदर मदन मोहन वृंदावन विहारी. There was once a poor Brahmin. His name was Sudama. Sudama lived along with his wife Sushila and their children in a small village. This village was in the outskirts of the city of Dwarka. Sudama's family and poverty were inseparable. Whatever chance brought him, Sudama used to live with it. He was well versed in the Vedas. He was a very contented man. He was satisfied with whatever they had. Just that the children were starving. And Sushila was so much good-natured, just like Sudama. She never complained one word to him. Whatever he brings home, she would make something out of it and feed the children. If he doesn't bring home anything, she never complained. She would go to the streets and beg for some food. Whatever she brings, she would feed her children. Like this, life was going on. Sudama was also known with another name. It is Kuchela. The word Kuchela literally translates to the one who wears old battered clothes, because that is how he was dressed. One beautiful thing is that Sudama and Krishna were friends in their younger days. Both of them had studied in the Gurukul of sage Sandipani once upon a time. And Sudama had told his wife Sushila so many times that they were close friends, Sudama and Lord Krishna. So one day, unable to bear the sufferings of the children, Sushila came and told Sudama, "My lord, I have never asked you anything. This is the first time I'm asking you. Can you please go and ask Krishna to help us? You know how bad a situation we are in. Our children don't have enough food to eat. They are wearing old and worn out clothes. Can't we take help from him? Krishna is the king of Dwarka now. Not only that, he is known for his reputation. He has always helped the poor and needy. I think we should go and ask him." She also said this because Sudama had recalled to her many incidents from their school life. One such incident is very interesting. Shall I share it with you? In the Gurukul, sage Sandipani and his wife were taking care of all the children. And all the children were treated equally, whether somebody came from a family of royalty or somebody came from a family of a very poor background. It doesn't matter. All the children were equal in a Gurukul. So one evening, sage Sandipani's wife called Krishna and Sudama and told them to go to the forest and fetch some firewood. Both of them were very happy. They started to go into the forest. They were chatting their way through and went well inside. They collected a lot of firewood. While they were about to return home, there was a sudden storm and a heavy downpour. The firewood should not get wet, right? So they thought they would wait. There was a big tree with a huge trunk, and there was a hollow in the trunk. Both of them waited there for a long time. Many hours actually. The rain didn't stop at all. Finally, when it did stop, it was well past midnight. Both of them quickly walked towards their home. They were very concerned that sage Sandipani and his wife are going to be worried about their return. Just as they thought, both of them were just waiting at the door for the boys. They both returned and told them all the stories that happened in the forest, how they were caught in the rain and all. So this story also Sudama had told Sushila many times, and many other things that he shared with Krishna as they were young boys. So today Sushila told him with much hesitation actually to go and see Krishna. Now Sudama was in a fix. He did not want to go and ask Krishna for any wealth. Nevertheless, he didn't want to disappoint his wife. So he decided to go. Also because he wanted to enjoy the company of his dear friend Krishna. So he decided he would go. As he was getting ready, he told Sushila, is there something in the home that I can offer as a gift to Krishna? I can't go and meet my friend empty-handed, you see, said Sudama. Sushila quickly checked everywhere in the kitchen. There was nothing there. She remembered that Sudama had told her that Krishna loves flattened rice. It is called aval in Tamil. So she decided to go to the neighborhood and she asked a few people and got a handful of rice. She pounded it and made them into flattened rice. I told you it is called aval. Krishna is very fond of aval. So she tied it in a small bundle and handed it to Sudama. Sudama put it on his waist. He tucked it in. He started to walk. It was a long walk to Dwarka, and as he was walking, he thought about how he would get an audience to King Krishna. Would he be able to recognize him? All these thoughts flooded his mind. But he walked all the way to Dwarka, and he reached the city. He was mind blown looking at the beautiful city. There were amazing buildings. They were all palatial. Finally, he came to the palace where Krishna's chambers were. There was this doorkeeper. So he informed the doorkeeper if he can go and meet Krishna. The doorkeeper looked at him up and down, and he wore battered clothes, I told you, right? And he was a very poor person. He looked at him and the doorkeeper asked, are you sure Krishna knows you? Sudama said, you please go and tell Krishna that I am his friend, his childhood friend from the Gurukul. My name is Sudama. You please go and inform, he said to the doorkeeper. The doorkeeper ran inside. Krishna was relaxing along with his wife Rukmini. As soon as the doorkeeper informed Krishna, he immediately rose and he ran to the entrance. Our doorkeeper was suddenly surprised. He didn't know what was happening. At the door, he met Sudama and his joy knew no bounds. He's meeting his childhood friend. He quickly embraced Sudama. It was such a warm embrace. And Sudama's eyes started to well up with tears. So was Krishna. They were both ecstatic meeting each other. Then Krishna asked Sudama, how are you? Where were you this long? You never bothered to come and meet me. He said, Sudama said, how are you, my lord? I'm so happy to see you. Krishna quickly took Sudama into his chambers, made him sit on his own cot. And Krishna washed the feet of Sudama. He was Krishna's guest, right? He washed his feet with water, and with the washed water, he sprinkled on his head. Then there was Rukmini standing by the side, fanning Sudama all alone. Sudama and Krishna had a lovely time chatting all about their younger days at the Gurukul, all the mischief they did, so many other incidents that happened. They had a lovely time chatting with each other. And then Krishna asked, Sudama, you must have got something for me. I'm sure Sushila would have sent me something. Where is it? He asked. Now Sudama was very hesitant. Krishna was all in royalty, and Sudama felt he was the lowest among the lows, and Krishna was the lord of all lords. How can he give him that small bundle of flattened rice? He had a lot of inhibition about it. Whereas Krishna, he said to Sudama, whatever is offered to me, be it a leaf or a fruit or even water, if it is offered with utmost devotion, that gives me the greatest happiness. Don't you worry, Sudama, he said. But Sudama did not stir. Even then, he was not ready to part with that rice. He had a lot of hesitation. Krishna quickly pulled out that small bundle which he had tucked in his waist. And he untied the bundle. There was this flattened rice, aval, which he's so fond of. He said, Sudama, you still remember that I'm fond of flattened rice? He took a handful and he ate it. That's all. You know what happened? You should wait to know what happened till the very end of the story. He took one more handful to eat it. Then Rukmini came and stopped him. Why did she stop? When Krishna ate one handful of that flattened rice, he has bestowed Sudama with all the wealth of the entire world. Had he taken one more handful into his mouth, it seems that even Krishna and Rukmini would be enslaved to Sudama for all his devotion. So Rukmini stopped Krishna after the first handful. She said she will take some for herself, and she walked inside. Now let's listen to this song. Vanamali Radha Ramana Giridhari Govinda. Vanamali Radha Ramana Giridhari Govinda. Neelamegha Sundara Narayana Keshava. Neelamegha Sundara Narayana Keshava. Bhakta Hridaya Mandara Bhanukoti Sundara. Bhakta Hridaya Mandara Bhanukoti Sundara. Nanda Nanda Gopa Vrinda Narayana Keshava. Nanda Nanda Gopa Vrinda Narayana Keshava. Vanamali Radha Ramana Giridhari Govinda. So Krishna was very happy that he ate the flattened rice that Sushila had sent along with Sudama. Then Krishna told Sudama, you must stay with me for 1 or 2 more days and then you can head back home. Sudama said, okay. And they both had a lovely time chatting all the while about their younger days. Then a day or 2 passed. After that, Sudama took Krishna's permission to leave for his home. And Krishna said, no, I will send you my chariot, you can go along with it. So Sudama got into the chariot that Krishna provided and he was on the way back home. He had forgotten something. He came to ask Krishna for some favor, right? Sudama recollected within him, oh, I came to ask him something. Well, I didn't even feel like asking him anything. The time that I spent with Krishna is the most blissful of all that I have done in my entire life. Why would I even ask him for anything? Like this, he thought, and he came home. There his home was, he had an unbelievable surprise. His old dilapidated hut was missing, and its place stood a big mansion. He was surprised, where is my little hut? He got down from the chariot and looked all around the place. Just outside this mansion was a huge park. There was a big garden. Children were playing in the garden. Actually, he could not even recognize his children. His own children. They were all his own children who were playing there. They were dressed in rich robes. He wondered what happened. As he was thinking, from inside the house came a beautiful lady. It was Sushila herself. She was dressed in her finery and Sudama could barely recognize her. She was so beautiful. She came running from outside the house and fell at Sudama's feet and said, oh Lord, did you see what Krishna has bestowed on us? Yesterday something miraculous happened and our entire hut was changed into this building. She said, this was the surprise I told you. I will tell you in the end. Krishna took one handful of rice, which was brought with utmost devotion. He bestowed everything on them. Their dilapidated hut changed into a palatial building. Such was the beauty of Krishna. And Sudama's joy knew no bounds. He went inside. It was such a royal place. It was almost like Indra's palace. Such was the beauty of it inside. Even though he had immense wealth now, Sudama always considered these few days that he spent with Krishna as the most beautiful days in his life. They were the blissful days. And he thought he should not lend himself to all this wealth and everything. Instead, he must dedicate his life to meditation and devotion towards Lord Krishna. This was how even Sushila felt. And they both had a lovely life in the new mansion that Krishna gave them. That is the end of the story of a beautiful friendship between Krishna and Sudama. Let's end today's session with this song. Swagatam Krishna Charanaagatam Krishna Swagatam Krishna Charanaagatam Krishna Madhura Puri Sadana Mriduvadana Madhusudana Iha Swagatam Krishna Charanaagatam Krishna Bhogadapta Sulabha Supushpagandha Kalabha Bhogadapta Sulabha Supushpagandha Kalabha Kasturi Tilaka Mohita Mama Kandananda Gopakanda Swagatam Krishna Charanaagatam Krishna Madhura Puri Sadana Mriduvadana Madhusudana Iha Swagatam Krishna Charanaagatam Krishna. Thank you everybody for being a wonderful audience. I enjoyed this entire series as much as you all did. Thank you from Shamala.